Dear compatriots, dear nation, dear sisters and brothers, I declare with great pride that the city of Shusha has been liberated from occupation. Shusha is ours. Qarabağ is ours. I heartily congratulate all the people of Azerbaijan on this occasion. All the people of Shusha, congratulations from the bottom of my heart. Shusha, which had been under occupation for 28.5 years, was liberated. Shusha is free now. We have returned to Shusha. We won this historic victory on the battlefield. November 8, 2020 is the date which will remain forever in the history of Azerbaijan. This history will live forever. This is the day of our glorious victory. We won this victory on the battlefield, not behind the negotiation tables. I have said many times, despite all the statements from others, there are military solutions to the conflict of Nagorno-Karabakh, and today we are proving it on the battlefield. 30 years of meaningless negotiations didn't bring us any closer to the conclusion. Our ancient historical lands are remained under occupation for about 30 years. In the process of negotiations, the Armenian side simply wanted to gain time. They simply wanted to strengthen their status quo and make it last forever. Many times over the years, signals sent to Azerbaijan from various power centers prompted us to reconcile with the situation. But we didn't come to any agreement against the interest of Azerbaijani people by showing determination, courage, and political will. I have repeatedly stated from all international forums that the restoration of our lands and territorial integrity is our main task, and we fulfill this task. Negotiations didn't yield any results. They were just fooling us, and there was a desire to freeze the issue. We won this victory on the battlefield. We won this victory by giving murders. May God have mercy on all our murders. Both the First and Second Karabakh War. I ask God to have mercy and patience for their relatives. May God heal our wounded compatriots. We are liberating our lands at the expense of the lives and blood of our people, soldiers and officers. We will expel and drive out the invaders from our lands. Shusha was under occupation for 28.5 years. Shusha has a special place in the history of Azerbaijan. This is our ancient and historical city. For centuries, Azerbaijanis have lived, built and created in Shusha. Shusha not only the pearl of Azerbaijan, but the whole Caucasus. But the enemy, by keeping the Shusha under the occupation, did a great blow to our cultural heritage, destroyed our historical monuments, destroyed our mosques, and insulted us. We have now returned to Shusha. We will restore all our historical monuments, and we will restore all our mosques, and after 28 years, the azan will be heard again in Shusha. A few years ago, in the city of Çoxlu, which was liberated after the April War in 2016, at the opening of the mosque, which was built on my instructions, I stated that this mosque is similar to the Shusha mosque, by the size, by the architectural style. I said that one day we will restore our mosques which destroyed by Armenian vandals in Shusha, and those days are coming. Today, Azerbaijan's flag is waving in Shusha. Today, all the people of Azerbaijan are proud to welcome this good news. We gather strength purposefully, tirelessly, in spite all pressures. The economic power. If we didn't have economic power, it wouldn't be possible to achieve this victory. First of all, economic independence had to be secured and was secured. Today, Azerbaijan's economy doesn't depend on anyone, it doesn't depend on any country, it doesn't depend on any international financial institutions. Independence, and this allowed us to develop our country and at the same time strengthen our army. We buy all the military equipment and weapons needed for our army from foreign markets. If we didn't have economic power, how could we get them? We have created a very unique model of development for the world and our country by pursuing a successful political policy. Our unity for internal solidarity, national unity, and common cause gave us additional strength, and it didn't give opportunity to some hated foreign circles to implement their ugly plans in Azerbaijan. However, there were such plans, there were such attempts. We repelled those attempts by showing political will and unity. We have defended our pride as a people, as a nation. We have defended our independent choice, and we have proved that no one can and will interfere in our affairs. If it were not for our national unity and solidarity, we would never have been able to liberate our lands from invaders. Over the years, the main purpose of the black PR campaign, the smear campaign, the slander campaign against us was to take us away from our main task, so we would drown in internal problems and the invaders would keep the occupied lands forever. But strong political will and unity between people and government has turned these plans upside down. The third key factor in our victory is our success at the international level. We have proved it to the world that Karabakh has always been a land of Azerbaijan. We have proved that Azerbaijani people have been living in these lands for centuries. We have proved that the Armenian population was brought to these lands 200 years ago. We have presented all these with the evidence, with the fact to the world community. We have proved that Nagorno-Karabakh is a historical, ancient land of Azerbaijan, and the issue must be resolved on the basis of the norms and principles of international law. All over the world, leading organizations, all international organizations, has adopted fair and just resolutions and decisions on Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. 4 UN Security Council's resolutions, resolutions of the UN General Assembly, resolutions of the Non-Aligned Movement, resolutions of the Islamic Cooperation Organization, resolutions of the European Parliament, and the decisions and resolutions of other international organizations have recognized Nagorno-Karabakh as an integral part of Azerbaijan. This gave us extra power. If we didn't do that, today the process going on around the conflict could cause big problems. We have been sincere and interacting with many countries over the years. We have established relations based on respect, and many countries consider Azerbaijan as a strategic partner. And this expression is already reflected in international documents. We established a sincere friendship with all neighboring countries. We were able to build relationships on the basis of mutual respect and mutual trust. If we didn't do that today, completely different process could have taken place around the conflict. When Shusha was occupied, our main problems were that we didn't have an army. The leadership couldn't fulfill his duty. At the international level, Azerbaijan had strained relations with almost all countries. We were almost isolated, but today we have isolated Armenia. Our transnational projects are created completely new landscape in the region. We have redesigned the energy and transportation map of the region. Our projects, implemented on our initiative, not only meet the interest of our people, but also the interest of many countries and the countries of the region. We have both bilateral and trilateral cooperation formats with neighboring countries. All this greatly enhanced and strengthened the international reputation of Azerbaijan. Without these achievements, the problem could remain frozen. Finally, and above all, army building. The main part of my work during these 17 years was dedicated to the construction and strengthening our army, equipping our army with the most modern weapons. It's not an easy task either. Material resources alone are not enough to buy those weapons. At the same time, diplomatic and political efforts must be made, and we have achieved this. Today, Azerbaijan sources its own military supplies from many countries. At the same time, in Azerbaijan, on my initiative, defense industry was created. We meet the needs of our army largely through those domestic productions. Azerbaijan produces more than 1,000 types of military products, including the most modern products. Army building, financial and civic problems of the military servicemen, state solution of housing problems of retired servicemen, improving the working conditions of our servicemen. This is what we are doing. We have rebuilt almost all military camps and military bases, and they meet the highest standards. Of course, first of all, the ability to fight. fighting ability increased. Many times, the military parades in Freedom Square showed our strength to the whole world. Increasing combat capability is a key factor in army building. We have modern weapons, we use modern equipment, and we destroy the enemy. Our lands liberated by only Azerbaijani soldiers and Azerbaijani officers, pushing their chests forward, fearing from nothing. They are our soldiers, who crushes the enemy without fear, with weapon on one hand and the flag on other. They are our soldiers who destroys the enemy. Kudos to our soldiers. We have created such an army. We said to the invaders, put an end to the occupation. It's not too late yet. Therefore, our policy at all times was unequivocally. We said, if the issue doesn't find a solution in peace, we will solve it by military means. I have said this many times. Therefore, I have been criticized by some countries. I said, our lands occupied by military means. Does Armenia occupy our lands peacefully? Every country has the right to self-defense. This right is given to us by the UN Charter. I had said so. If I see that the talks are completely ineffective, we will have no other choice. Let everybody know, the enemy, his supporters, and mediators involved in this matter. I am a man of my word. I always been. I kept all my promises to Azerbaijani people. In this regard, I also kept my promise, and now we are celebrating the victory. Since September 27th, more than 200 cities, villages, and settlements have been liberated, including the city of Füzuli, which is completely destroyed by enemy. They didn't leave a single safe and sound house or building. Jabrail was also completely destroyed. Gubadlı, Zengilan were completely destroyed. Villages, cities, Hadrut, Sugovushan, and today, Shusha city. Our victory march continues. There are still occupied lands, so still war continues. If the Armenian leadership doesn't respond to my requirements, we will go until the end. No one can stop us. There is no force in the world that can stop us. Armenia is already confessing his defeat by humiliating himself and insulting his people. The Armenian leadership now asking for help from other countries. They want military aid. They want weapons and equipment. But you were the invincible army. We destroyed it. All their words, all their statements were myth, were lies. The invincible army is the Azerbaijani army. We show this on the battlefield, chasing the enemy from our lands alone. Billions of dollars have been spent over the past 30 years to build fortifications and the engineering facilities in Nagorno-Karabakh. But we have destroyed, and destroyed them all with the spiritual power, strength, and unity. I want to reiterate, our victory marches continues. Enemy forces must be withdrawn from all our lands. This is our demand. international norms and principles, decisions and resolutions of international organizations require it. Dear sisters and brothers, today I bring this good news to my people in the alley of murders. This is not a coincidence. This is what I meant. Today I bow once again to the souls of our murderers. Today I declare that the blood of our murderers doesn't remain on the ground, victim of Armenian savagery. The blood of Khojaly victims doesn't remain on the ground. We took our revenge on the battlefield. We are against waging war on civilians. We have never waged a war on civilians, also not doing it today. Although the enemy killed 93 civilians and wounded more than 400 civilians. But I said no, we are Azerbaijanis, and we will take our revenge on the battlefield. We have destroyed their army. We are destroying, and we will destroy. We are and we will drive out the enemy. Today, at the same time, I visited the monument of the great leader Heydar Aliyev. In front of his soul, I bowed. I said in my heart, I am happy to have fulfilled my father's will. We liberated Shusha. This is a great victory. The soul of our martyrs and the great leader are happy today. I congratulate all Azerbaijanis. I congratulate Azerbaijanis of the world. I have received thousands of letters from Azerbaijanis around the world and people living in Azerbaijan. Thousands of letters every day. I just regret I can't read all these letters. There is simply not enough time. What a wonderful words. What a great support. Today, we prove once again to the whole world that we are a great nation. We are a proud nation. We are an invincible nation. We show the enemy its place on the battlefield. These days, I have repeatedly appealed to the people of Azerbaijan, and I showed a fist to the enemy, and I said that this is not a regular fist. This is an iron fist, and we will crush and keep crushing the head of enemy with our iron fist. At the same time, this fist is a symbol of our unity. Today, the people of Azerbaijan are united like this fist. It will always be so. This unity will last forever, and this unity will enable us to fulfill our responsibilities in the future. All these years, for 17 years, I have felt the support of the Azerbaijani people. I have seen their trust. I have seen their lovely attitude. It gives me strength. This is invaluable support for my policy, for my work. Always, I assured the people of Azerbaijan that I would serve my homeland and my people with dignity and loyalty. I am glad that I kept my word. As always, I am a man of my word. Giving this good news to the people of Azerbaijan on this historic day is perhaps the happiest moment of my life. Dear Shusha, you are free. Dear Shusha, we are back. Dear Shusha, we will revive you. Shusha is ours. Qarabağ is ours. Qarabağ is Azerbaijan.